Yep, that's right. One of the biggest fans of beer is going to one of the world's smallest breweries. Roll the intro.
This is the way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chopperfett channel. My name is Brett and we make the motorcycle videos and motorcycle vlogs here on YouTube. Doing something a little bit different today. We are going to Kansas's smallest brewery, which is also going to be one of the smallest breweries in the world. The name of the brewery is called Range 23 and it's ran by my in-laws, Nate and Karen. And they have been doing this since COVID started. You know, who opens a bar in COVID? But yeah, anyway. So what we're going to go ahead and do is hop on Highway 5. We're going to ride over to the brewery and kind of take a little miniature tour of the facility. Let's go ahead and montage it up as we explore Highway 5. All right, we made it to Range 23 Brewery, finally. Made it up the dirty gravel road. Got chased by some dogs. Been pretty entertaining so far. But over here is their parking. Now, as you can see here, there's not really a place to drink. They are not a tap room. They are to-go only. So some of the other things that they have on file or on tap here. So they got some merch, which is going to be some t-shirts, stickers. They got steins, which I know they use for Oktoberfest. And then these little howlers and growlers are pretty cool looking, the little 32 ounces. They make some other kind of items, good for cocktails, it says, lemonades and things of that nature. And then there's a list of their actual beers. Now, again, with it being not an actual tap room, it makes it probably a little bit more difficult for them. But if you look at the area that they're in, they probably really don't want to pollute it up with a lot of traffic coming in and out. So pickup traffic is probably what works best for them anyway at this point in time. It's a really very peaceful place, and yeah, it's gorgeous out this way. I mean, take a look at this view. Yeah, so what they're doing right now is they are actually setting up a quick little taster for us. Again, they're not usually a tap room, but they're going to allow me to sample a few of their beers in a small capacity before I head back out. And yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll also talk to the owners, Nate and Karen, ask them some questions about why they made this establishment in the first place, and then on top of that, where they see it going in the future.
So if you do any research on the public land survey system, I know nobody will, but the public land survey system is a way of mapping and delineating communities. This started a long time ago. And basically they go into smaller and smaller squares. So they go from section to township, and then to range. And the range is the smallest one. So the Piper area lies most of the Piper area lies within range 23. This area is section 19, township 10, range 23. So it spoke to the hyper locality of the brewery, the very smallness of the brewery, the focus on community. So it fit, and it kind of sounds ranchy because we're on a horse ranch. So
There you go.
we are the smallest brewery in the state of Kansas. There's one other brewery in terms of production that's as small as us. We're on a 1-barrel system, so 1 barrel is 31 gallons. One other brewery is as small as us, but nobody is as small as the 330 square foot that we're sitting in right now. Well, we didn't really think about it much in that regard. It was more of our timeline and what was right for us. Obviously, we were home a lot, so it was a lot more time to talk about things and plan things out. I was still doing my full-time job, but Karen was at home with her full-time job. So 2019 was when we first discussed with the owners of the property the option of building it out. February of 2020, shortly after the lockdown, was when we incorporated the business. And it actually ended up being great because nothing else was going on. So it was a good opportunity for us to work on all the paperwork and work on all the construction and all that stuff because we weren't going to open to anybody anytime soon. So it gave us time to finish stuff out. So yeah, it was a blessing and a curse in some ways. The other thing it also allowed us to do is when things did start opening up, our model was not that abnormal. If it were 2017, a model of a brewery that you can only pick up and you can't sit down and drink it, you have to pick up and take it to go, would have been really unusual. It's still unusual, but it's less unusual because when things did start opening up, by the time we opened in 2021, people were more used to the pickup style. So that worked out well for us. What didn't work was we would have normally been out to other breweries, talking to other breweries, other people who'd own breweries, networking, that sort of thing. We couldn't do any of that because you weren't supposed to go network with anybody that wasn't in your bubble. So that was difficult. My wife Karen and I first met in college. We knew pretty quickly we had kind of the similar interests, obviously, and we'd always talked about having our own place. Right? We saw the value in a small locally owned business, whether it be a coffee shop, a liquor store, a bar, a brewery, whatever those little small mom and pop things. Those would build a sense of community, and we knew we were going to open something, and that was 20 years ago. And so we throughout our growing and our relationships like that, the ideas changed. We thought about a bike shop, and we thought about a coffee shop, and we thought about a deli and all sorts of different stuff. And we had been working on a coffee shop for a while, actually a coffee bus. We were going to put a coffee shop in a bus, but we realized that didn't really work well with me keeping our full-time jobs, because I don't want a coffee shop that's only open 3 days a week. The coffee shop needs to be open at 6 o'clock in the morning for me to get my coffee. So that pretty much went to the wayside. And then we're like, well, I've got a lot of brewery stuff in the garage with a minimal amount of investment. We can turn this into a really small brewery. So that's how that started. It fit all the points. It was just this was the thing. So. Yeah, so our year-round beers are our Kolsch, our Blonde, our Pale Ale, our Karen's IPA. I'm not giving the names for them. It's an IPA. It's American. It's a classic West Coast style IPA. The Dunkelweiss and the Porter. Those are our year-rounders. We do one-offs a lot. That's one of the nice things about being a small brewery is you kind of have that flexibility to do those things. So we usually at least have a seasonal, every season, and then we usually have some kind of one-off that we're playing with, doing something, you know, that sort of thing. So, for instance, we've got 12 taps right now, and just until recently, we had 12 beers on them. So right now, we still have our Blue Hellas, which is a Munich-style lager, and it came out at the beginning of MLS soccer season, named after Sporting KC's Blue Hell cheering section. It's almost gone. Then we've got our wheat, which is what you're drinking. It's an American wheat, and we did that for the Ukraine humanitarian relief. So a portion of all of those sales go to Ukrainian families that are displaced. We called it No Place Like Home. Ukraine is one of the largest producers of wheat and barley in the world, and Kansas obviously is one of the largest producers of wheat and barley in the United States. So it seemed to fit. And I didn't have an American wheat, so it worked out well. We also have our hazy IPA. That's almost done as well. It was brewed with Pink Boot Society hop blend from Yakima Chief. Portion of those proceeds go to benefit women in the beverage and fermentation industry. So that's that one. Then we had our our Marzen, which is our Oktoberfest beer. We're out of that one. Finally sold out of that one. That was our seasonal. And then we had our Papa's Juice, which is a double IPA, wet hopped with hops from Porter Valley Hop Farm. It's a hop farm just right down the street in Tonganoxie. And so that was a one-off that we did because one of our best customers, Chuck, he decided that he really wanted a double IPA, and so I said, okay, you're my best customer, I guess I'll make you one. So that's that one.
All right, just got done with taking a nice little sip at the Range 23 Brewery. I had the wheat beer, and he was sipping on the porter there. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I think I might go home and have another beer. Unfortunately, I don't have any saddlebags to have take anything home with me today, but I'll have to remember to do that with the Dyna here next time. Because yeah, the Dyna's got bags now. You didn't know. All right, we gotta do this gravel road of doom again. See if we're any better on it this time. I thought I was really bad on that last time. Well, maybe we could get by without the doggies. Let's try that. Ugh. Ooh. Stand up. Alright. Hip was trying to pop out of place again. Oh, yeah. And the dog tried to get me again. Oops, oops. Oh, shit. Okay, we're good. This is a GoPro pick isn't picking this up, I know. But this is steep and slippery. So we're just going to take it nice and slow. It's not so bad. That's good. Alright, I think we're through the worst of it. I don't see that because it's really bad here. Oh gosh, I'm a Venture Tomac 2.0. Oh my goodness. I don't know how he does it. Oh, probably not on a Z900RS. That's how. Alright. Whew. That was a workout. But we made it. We made it. Whew. But once again, thanks to Nate and Karen. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know it's always go when you have a family at home, you have other jobs, and you're trying to run a brewery. So thank you guys so much for it. And yeah, if you guys are over in the Kansas City area, definitely either hit myself up or them up, and I'll be glad to chauffeur you out this way. Sorry, Bolt, I slipped my mind when you were here. Otherwise, I would have brought you out this way as well. But with that being said, though, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. And as always, I will catch you on the next dark side, as this is the way. Chopperfett seeing ya. Later.